Hello and welcome to Accelerate. I am Matt Stone. This is the podcast where we encourage and inspire CEOs, founders, and visionaries on their big leap journeys. We talk about the stories and strategies that will help you accelerate toward your big leap destination with purpose, humility, an open mind, commitment to growth, and recognition that the way we get there is at least as important as where we end up. And I'm so delighted that you've tuned in today. So we are back after a long holiday weekend here in the United States. And I hope you had a good weekend. We had quite a time with 4th of July here. And I have to say, we decided to go down to the Hoboken kind of pier area along the waterfront there on the Hudson. And if you live in this area and you haven't been there for 4th of July, highly recommended. It is... it's really the best of both worlds because you're down there, you've got the fireworks from Jersey City going off, you got the fireworks from Manhattan going off at the same time. Pretty wild. And although crowded, not as bad as it was in other parts of the area from what I understand. So anyway, it was pretty nice. Weather cooperated and feeling good going into this week. So what's the topic for our quick hit today? Well, what came up for me over the weekend was that as a founder, if you're leading kind of a new initiative, you're launching something new or whatever, you can have long, protracted periods where, maybe you're not getting the result that you want yet, and you're laying the foundation down. It can be very, very frustrating. So I just want to encourage all of you, if you're in some kind of big initiative, launching a new product or service, or changing something very big and complex, just to remember that we can't control every aspect of it. And so sometimes the ultimate feedback, like if you're trying to sell something complex, the ultimate feedback is actually making the sale, right? It's the almighty dollar. It can be very frustrating if you go a long time without, closing a deal. And so I reached out to a friend of mine who's also a founder, and he does complex international deals in real estate. They involve lawyers and bankers and multiple clients. It's highly, sensitive work in the sense that any little thing that doesn't line up can kill a deal. And he's been doing this for years. And I said, gosh, how do you get through those periods when, you've worked so hard and one little thing doesn't fall into place, or, client gets cold feet, or the bank said yes and then says no to some big loan or whatever. What do you do to get through that? How do you survive that feeling of disappointment when you've worked so hard for so long? And he had some really great advice, frankly, advice that works well for me too. And the couple things that came up for him, it started with this point, and it was, don't make life all about the deals. You've got to have other things going on so you can get through those periods. Because if you don't, then your life is sort of like a stock ticker on your deal. If it's down, your life is down. So for him, what he talked about was having some kind of physical fitness as a key part of sort of daily life, staying fit, doing things that are physical that you not only are good for you, but that you enjoy. So if it's yoga, if it's hiking, if it's tennis, whatever that is, have at least one thing on the physical side that makes you feel good, is healthy, gets the blood pumping and oxygen flowing. And I know for me, I some of my best ideas come when I'm exercising. So I totally related to that one. And then the second one, another one I totally believe in, but it was great to hear it from him, was connection with other people. So having meaningful, opportunities to connect, to share, to relate, to just enjoy, and to have regular contact with a group of people who know what it's like to go through what you're going through in some capacity. It doesn't have to be in every area of your life. So if it's a business cohort, that people that understand your industry, if it's a hobby cohort, whatever it is, having people that you can connect with that understand, what it's like to be you at some level really, really powerful. And then what happens is eventually the conditions change, and you do get some kind of definitive feedback on the business side that will hopefully lift spirits, or at least give you the impetus to make another big change if it's really not working. But let's face it, some big deals, some big change initiatives are complex and they take time. And just because things aren't working out the way that you thought they would on the same timeline doesn't actually mean that you're failing at it. And I think getting that perspective is really, really important. I mean, anybody who's done anything significant can tell you about the million failures along the way and how long it can take. So if you're somebody who's struggling through a project or something that's bringing up a bit of self-doubt because you're not getting what you thought you were going to get, I guess ask yourself, how well balanced am I? Am I subtly or not so subtly obsessing over this? Am I out of balance in my other areas of my life? Am I connected with others? Am I doing things that are meaningful to help me, feel good and get perspective as I move along? Always good to keep that in mind. So with that, I'll sign off for today. Wish you a fantastic week and hope you get great perspective this week and see all the great things that you're already doing. Until next time, everybody. Oh, I forgot. And one more thing. If you like this podcast, you're getting some value, please give us a good rating. Like this podcast, whether it's Apple Podcasts, whatever platform you're listening on, indicate that you like it. Share it with a friend. Visit me at mattstone.co. Sign up for the newsletter there if you can. And I look forward to connecting with you also on Twitter at mattstoneco. And you could share comments and questions and feedback on Twitter as well as we continue to build the infrastructure of this podcast. Okay, and now I really mean it. Until next time, have a great week. And remember, you're already doing great. It's just your perspective that may need some help if you don't feel like it. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.